Hoosier State, where Colts fans rise to their feet with the striking of the anvil as it is time for football here at Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indy. Tonight we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Set now to wrap up a busy week of football. Happy to have you with us. And, folks, we are underway on Monday Night Primetime. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They will be led out by the former Heisman Trophy winner back in 2016. Always a handful to contain, Lamar Jackson.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
Now a first carry for the brother of Dalvin. It's James Cook. They'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that he can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
First down. 1st and 10.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now a 2nd and 10. Jackson now. Has it complete to Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 1.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Jackson will keep it. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It's a gain of 2.
They pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, Linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's Jackson to throw. It's caught here by Adams. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
This pass left side to Downs. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And his kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start, because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
So after the field goal, back out is Groupie to send this one away. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yards with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down.
At the 35-yard line.
This is caught by McMillan. So nothing doing there. And 3rd and 8 now.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. $3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Panther football to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. To throw, here's Nix. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. It's taken to the 26. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, let's get 30, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. They set up the screen for Giddens. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Now a first carry here for the running back. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. They go play action with Jackson. A short throw. This is caught by Cox. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up second down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Well, that'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
At the 39-yard line.
Now Jackson. Setting up the screen for Cook. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 24-yard line. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Here's Jackson. Right back to Cook for another completion. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it up, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open. Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
And Jackson throwing once more. That complete to Downs. And the Colts are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
At the 2-yard line.
Jackson. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Darren Waller from a yard out. And the Colts will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Blake Groupie now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it concludes with a touchdown reception by Darren Waller. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. The Panthers going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Nix from the shotgun. Short throw hauled in by Trimble. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now it's Nix. Short throw hauled in by Trimble. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Working out of the gun is Nix. Looking middle, and he finds McMillan. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Panthers going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
47-yard line.
Operating from the gun, here's Nix. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness is a premium for all of that now.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
It's a gain of 6.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Here's Nix. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Nix. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Neville Gallimore powering his way in and burying it.
3rd and
Halftime here on Monday Night Primetime. It is off to Orlando we go. Here is Scott Hansen with our halftime report. Scott.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hansen, good to be with you from the Orlando EA Sports Studios with an abridged halftime report. This one shaping up to be a tight one, as evidenced by the scoreboard. Both these teams playing it close to the vest in the first half. What will happen in the second half? Let's find out as we send it back to the stadium and our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Scott, thanks very much. And we welcome all of you back here on EA Sports for quarter number 3. $10-0 is our score as we get started again on EA Sports. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So the Panthers going to take over here to start quarter number 3. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Looking to put a drive together. Off the play fake. Nix. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line hasn't done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Nix to the air. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Now he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Well, it looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, if they have any designs of getting back into this football game in the second half, they're going to need to be much sharper offensively than they were on this opening possession. Not much happening here, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. 35 yards that time on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Jackson. On the out route, this is Adams with a catch.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And he's got this down to the 35. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. The sack goes to Chris Barnes. Well, we've seen how this quarterback can beat you with his legs. Saw it earlier on this drive, as a matter of fact. But that time, they had him covered.
They really gave him no place to escape because oftentimes they're able to find a crack, a sliver, anything that can get them upfield. On that occasion, nothing open at all, and they swarmed him.
They need 12 here. It's third down. From the gun, Jackson. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They run here with Rico Dowdle. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Trying to find some space to operate, and now they'll have it. A gain of 12, a big first down to get away from the end zone.
First and 10.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That's a 12-yard gain now on back-to-back plays.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. They run again with Dowdle. Gets past one man. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 40 yards rushing for him now on just his first 3 carries.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What, is it 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
They'll go play action with Nix. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. On play action, here's Nix. They'll find McMillan here. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on Monday Night Primetime. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Panthers in possession of the football, but facing a deficit here as we get to the 4th and final quarter of play. Throwing Nix. That one complete to Ligon. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
fourth down. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on fourth down.
The one thing I have learned about this league, more and more, you've got to take some chances. You know, if you play everything conservatively and play everything exactly like, okay, I know what to do in each situation, I don't think you're going to get very far. I love the call there, going for it, even on his own side of the field.
Yeah, and even though you're on your own side of the field, they were creeping towards midfield, so not as crazy as if they were back at their own 20.
Show a little faith in the defense too, right?
Yep. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Panthers. Jalen Coker, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Panthers go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Following the touchdown, this is Fitzgerald now to send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Again, it's Cook. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 8. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Now the Panthers going to signal for their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So from Panther territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
So with your team leading in the fourth quarter, you know you've got to run the football. They know you've got to run the football. Sometimes that means there's nowhere to run the football.
Left side, Cook. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. And they will take a knee here. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Well, obviously, Charles, this was by no means an offensive track meet. I mean, the defenses were the story in this ball game, but, hey, they got enough points to get the job done, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
You're absolutely right about that, partner. In such a low-scoring game, it completely changes everything you had planned to do out there. Fortunately for them, they got just enough scoring to bring home the win, and in this type of a game, to play their defense, that became one of their biggest keys.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Colts are winners as we say so long from Indianapolis. With its distinctive swimming pools in the upper deck, there's a look inside Everbank Stadium here in Duval County, Florida. Tonight, we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here on the final play, and this ball game is over. It all came down to one final jump ball on the Hail Mary, but partner, the defense was ready, able to force it to be incomplete. Ball game over.
Look, let's face it, everybody wants to work the ball in closer and take a more high percentage pass to try and tie the game, but the Hail Mary, that's what they had to work with. And now they're just hoping that their jumpers can get up higher and are stronger than the defenders. Not the case in this instance. They end up losing the game.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Jaguars are winners here as we say so long from Jacksonville. Sports coverage of the NFL has us on the west coast of the Sunshine State. Downtown Tampa's the spot, Raymond James Stadium. Tonight we've got the crew set for what should be a real treat, a great Monday night matchup, as it'll be the LA Chargers taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The knee. Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Bucks are winners here as we say so long from Tampa.